On May 7, 2024, in Columbus, Ohio, Whitehall police received an alert about a stolen vehicle linked to an armed robbery. The chase began in Whitehall and continued after the two suspects switched to another vehicle. During the chase, a stolen Hyundai collided with a police patrol car, damaging 3 vehicles. Eventually, the police used a maneuver that caused the vehicle to crash into a tree, and both juvenile suspects were arrested. On January 3, 2024, in Rockland County, New York, officers Stephen Missail and Ronald Raymond stopped a Mercedes E350 on I-87 in connection with an attempted murder in Albany. Rakim Tillery, 35, the suspect in the Albany shooting, fired at the officers when pulled over. Both officers returned fire, striking Tillery, who was later pronounced dead at the scene. The officers sustained minor injuries and were treated at the hospital. The victim of the Albany shooting was also taken to Albany Medical Center for treatment. On July 14, 2023, in Fargo, North Dakota, Mohammed Barakat, 37, opened fire on police and first responders as they were dealing with a traffic accident. Barakat used a .223 caliber rifle, severely wounding officers Andrew Dotas and Tyler Hawes. Officer Zach Robinson, who was with Wallen, engaged in a shootout with Barakat, firing 31 rounds, hitting Barakat 21 times, and ultimately taking him down. Barakat, carrying a large cache of weapons and ammunition, intended to commit a major massacre. The injured officers and a witness, Carly Coswick, recovered and were released from the hospital. On June 12, 2024, around 5 p.m. in Atlanta, Georgia, police responded to a shooting at 142 Joseph E. Lowry BLVD DN-W. On investigation, police identified 4 suspects driving a blue Tesla involved in the shooting. While canvassing the area, they located the suspect vehicle and initiated a chase. During the pursuit, the driver lost control and fled on foot, but was caught after a brief foot chase. 2 other passengers were also apprehended at the scene, and a firearm was recovered. The 4th suspect was later arrested outside of jurisdiction. The suspects, including Kentavious Campbell, Elijah Griffin, Isaiah Grimes, and Jaden Chapman, were charged with multiple counts related to aggravated assault and weapon possession.
Got some scissors. Got some. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Stop moving. Stop moving them. He's good. He's good.
I'm gonna be out with the white Honda, southbound, south of Charge.
On October 15, 2023, in Tehama County, California, a California Highway Patrol CHP officer from the Red Bluff office responded to reports of a problematic driver on southbound I-5. Upon approaching the vehicle, the driver, Joseph Michael Pate, 39, refused to cooperate and then fired at the officer. The officer returned fire, striking Pate. Despite being wounded, Pate fired again and then stole the officer's patrol vehicle. Pate drove at high speed, causing a semi-truck rollover before the patrol car caught fire, forcing Pate to abandon the vehicle. He was apprehended and later pronounced dead at the hospital. The CHP officer, despite being shot multiple times, recovered and returned to duty. On the morning of Sunday, June 30th, 2024, in Thousand Oaks, California, a deputy sheriff was involved in a shooting while confronting Adan Perez Hernandez, 37, on Avenida de los Arbos. Hernandez, seen holding a knife and a bow, refused orders to drop his weapons and continued advancing towards the deputy, leading to the shooting. Hernandez was given first aid and transported to the hospital in critical but stable condition. No deputies were injured. Around 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, June 1st, 2024, in Manhattan, New York, Officer Ann Arcega and her team, Officer Gary Cabral and Sergeant Nestor Bohm, responded to reports of a man, Ndiuga Gay, 36, threatening people with a knife on 102nd Street. As Gay continued to attack and ignored orders to stop, Sergeant Bohm shot Gay to protect the officers. Gay was injured and taken to Mount Sinai Morningside Hospital. He was charged with aggravated assault and threatening police officers. At approximately 5:55 p.m. on June 23, 2024, in Los Angeles, California, police responded to a call about an armed man at Adams Boulevard and St. James Place. While responding with lights and sirens, a patrol car collided with another vehicle at the intersection of Adams Boulevard and Gramercy Place. The driver of the Corolla, Regina Oria Jr., was critically injured and placed in a medical coma at the hospital, but is expected to survive. The involved officers sustained minor injuries and were released from the hospital.
Adams and Gramercy. Okay? Yeah, we're good.
Around 9 p.m. on July 3rd, 2024, in Los Angeles, California, patrol officers stopped a white vehicle at Broadway and Rosecrans Avenue. The suspect, armed with an automatic weapon, suddenly opened fire on the officers, leading to an officer involved shooting OI. After the shooting, the suspect fled. The officers suffered minor cuts and scrapes from broken glass and were taken to the hospital, where they were treated and released the following morning. On July 12, 2024, Malcolm Gus Jr., 31, was arrested and faced multiple charges, including attempted murder of a police officer and weapon possession. Gus was held on $2 million bail and could face life in prison if convicted.
Why are you guys running from John?
On Sunday, January 27, 2024, in Lathrop, California, police responded to a domestic violence call involving Juan Valdez, 40.
Hey, does John have any weapons right now?
Yeah, there's probably knives in some of the house.
Does John carry a gun? Hey, John, what's going on right now?
You will fight back.
Hey, Tino, stop that car if he takes off.
After Valdez fled, a car chase ensued. He attempted to carjack a vehicle on Interstate 5, clinging to the victim's car window. When the victim stopped, Valdez tried to enter the car through the passenger door. An officer fired 2 shots at Valdez.
trying to carjack a victim vehicle holding on.
Valdez was taken to the hospital and later detained at the San Joaquin County Jail. He faces charges of carjacking, false imprisonment, and resisting arrest. On May 20th, 2023, at 3:21 p.m., Arkansas State Police pulled over a GMC Sierra driven by Christopher Monroe, 42, on US Highway 67 South.
I got stuff. I'm trying to catch back up.
Monroe, wanted for drug trafficking, fled, leading to a high-speed chase. After flipping the vehicle and crashing into a wall, police surrounded the car, seizing drugs, guns, and cash. Monroe was charged with drug trafficking, firearm possession, fleeing, and aggravated assault on law enforcement. On July 11, 2024, in Fort Worth, Texas, police responded to a stolen truck that had crashed into a police unit. After being stopped by spike strips, the driver, Jaquan Guzman, 28, hijacked a passerby's car and refused to lower his weapon. Five officers fired, hitting Guzman, who was later taken to the hospital in stable condition. Guzman faces charges of unauthorized vehicle use, armed robbery, and evading arrest. On July 11, 2024, in Fort Worth, Texas, police pursued a stolen truck that had crashed into a police unit during a chase. When approaching the suspect, Kavon Reagan, 22, Reagan fired at the officers, wounding Sergeant Joshua Scott. After Reagan refused to surrender and continued shooting, he was shot and killed at approximately 11:47 a.m. 5 other people, including 3 children, were inside the house, all of whom were unharmed.
Armor, your guy's pinned down or to the south. You need to go south. Yeah, this K5 was shots fired. I was taking rounds over here when Armor came into the intersection.
On August 30th, 2021, in West Melbourne, Florida, Deputy Brian Potters stopped a vehicle on US 192. When passenger Paris Wilder, 38, pulled out a rifle and began shooting at the deputies, Deputy Tyler Toman arrived to assist.
Is that all yeah. I'll watch it for you. He's all right. I got babies. Oh, you got a dog too? Hell.
Wilder attacked Deputy Potters, severely injuring him. Both deputies returned fire, shooting Wilder multiple times. Wilder was pronounced dead at the scene. He had a criminal record with 23 felony arrests and 17 misdemeanor arrests. On April 17, 2024, LaDarius Williams, 27, stole an ambulance from Piedmont Henry Hospital and recklessly drove through multiple areas in Morrow, Georgia. During the chase, Williams ignored traffic control devices and collided with several vehicles. The chase ended when police deployed a stock stick device to deflate the tires, and a pit maneuver caused the ambulance to crash into a utility pole. Williams exited the vehicle and fled, but was later captured and taken to the Clayton County Jail. On April 6, 2024, around 4:58 a.m., West Valley Police in Los Angeles pulled over a 2019 gray Lamborghini Huracan after the driver, Elliot Dugan, 51, was found sleeping at a traffic light. Dugan fled at high speed, losing control and crashing into a barrier and several trees.
Where's home?
The impact ejected Dugan from the car, resulting in his death. The Lamborghini was split into two parts, causing damage to several parked cars. On February 8, 2024, around 10:47 a.m., Charlotte Mecklenburg police responded to a call about an armed suspect in the 2100 block of Beatty's Ford Road. RTCC surveillance cameras captured Timothy D'Angelo Moore, 33, handling and concealing a gun. When officers approached, Moore fled and pulled out the gun. To protect themselves, an officer shot Moore, causing him to fall to the ground. Moore was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. He was charged with weapon possession, resisting arrest, and carrying a concealed weapon. Moore was released from jail after being discharged from the hospital.